Neither Mac Jones nor Bailey Zappi were outstanding, with Mac Jones completing 50% of his passes, throwing an interception on 6 attempts. And while Zappi came in and helped lead the Patriots to 2 straight touchdowns, he followed that up with 2 interceptions of his own. Stephen A., I'm going to start with you here. Do you think it was a mistake to start Mac Jones?
I think it was a huge mistake. I think you roll with the guy that's got the hot arm for you. I mean, when we came into this season, we didn't have huge expectations for the New England Patriots, okay? And they started off the season showing us why we shouldn't have huge expectations for them. But Zappi comes up in there, and he performs pretty well. And I think that when you mess with that and you're a mediocre team, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, I certainly wouldn't call the Patriots mediocre defensively, even though last night wasn't their shining moment. But I certainly wouldn't call them mediocre defensively, but offensively, they are, to say they're mediocre is actually being kind. They are incredibly limited, and when you disrupt what's flowing for you, I think it messes stuff up. And I really think they've jeopardized this season, to be quite honest with you. And I don't think I'm being hyperbolic in saying that, Jeff and Keyshawn, because I'm scouring the rest of the conference. I'm looking at Miami that's got Tua back. I'm looking at Buffalo. They ain't going anywhere. Right. Okay, we know Cincinnati or Baltimore is going to come out of that AFC North, and the likelihood is that both of them is going to have something to say about having a playoff berth. We're looking in the South, and I know Matt Ryan went down, but Tennessee is still obviously coming on strong, and they're doing their thing in the AFC South, and you can't rule out Indianapolis. And then in the AFC West, you've got you got Kansas City, you got obviously the Los Angeles Chargers, and you can't summarily dismiss the Las Vegas Raiders on a come-up. So I think that every game is pivotal for the New England Patriots. And when you disrupt what you had going for you over these last few weeks, I think last night's impact has a resounding effect because it could have very well compromised, if not flat out ruined, their playoff aspirations. Go ahead, guys. One of y'all.
Jeff?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll disagree with this. Listen, let me just say this. All right, so when I look at the New England Patriots, you have a brand new offensive staff that you're coming in, so Mac Jones is going to try to do that. He's coming off an injury. The expectations that came into last night were he wasn't going to play the entire game, right? He's limited because of his leg. We're going to give it. Zappi has played well in the time away. But let's not forget, this is the same Mac Jones that we all sat around last year and talked about probably played the best of all rookie quarterbacks. By the way, leading them to the playoffs last year, right? Rookie quarterback, okay team, like Stephen A., you just said, poor offense, good defense, however you want to frame it. But he takes them there. Last year, 67%, 7.3 yards, average 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. This year he has struggled. The injury definitely didn't help, but I don't think you lose a job because of an injury. And listen, the Zappi thing, I'm not trying to take away from anybody. As a backup quarterback in the NFL, really the third quarterback on any NFL roster, you just want to be competitive. But you beat the Lions and the Browns, okay? So let's not get crazy, right? And again, he comes in and plays really the majority of the game. They get the lead. They're up 14, whatever it was at the time, 14-10 or 14-13. I can't remember what it was at the time after they score their second touchdown. And then from there on, he falls apart as well. So acting like Zappi is going to be the savior of this Patriots team, I think is a disservice to the team. Mac Jones has to learn to play in this offense. He is going to be there for the duration, right? This is a guy you drafted in the first round. You want to get him. You want to have him to be a productive player, not only in your organization, but for your franchise. This Zappi experiment doesn't make sense to me. And that I will say this, that Belichick didn't say, if Mac Jones is healthy, he's my guy, just creates this type of stuff. But that doesn't bother Belichick. But I can tell you who it does bother, Mac Jones. And you saw it because a guy who has done nothing but try to protect the football, that little flip-out lollipop throw that got him benched, you can't have it. Like, the margin for error is almost zero for the New England Patriots. You can't turn it over. And if you do, that's the Belichick response. I'm going to bench you and put somebody else in. I just think, in my opinion, Mac Jones is your guy. Let's go build this organization around you for now. If you prove you can't do the job, give it up. But at this point, I would not compare the two. And again, I think Mac Jones is kind of getting a raw deal here.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.